Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the special council meeting of December 5th, 2024. I'll call the meeting to order. A couple of reminders for today's meeting. Members of the media may sit in the upper balcony at the reserved media table. All other guests, please take a seat in the first floor gallery. If that is full, there is overflow seating on the second floor in the Victoria Room, where you will be able to see and hear the meeting. We live stream the meeting on your YouTube channel, and the recording is available after the meeting. Because meetings are accessible to the public in these ways, video or audio recording by members of the public is not permitted in council chambers. This is to ensure that all attendees and those who come to make a deputation feel at ease. Thank you for your cooperation. Look for an adoption of the agenda. Motion, Deputy Mayor McDonald and Councillor Richardson. All in favor? And that's passed. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest on anything on today's agenda? Seeing none, should any arise during the course of the meeting, advise the chair and we'll deal with it accordingly. Item 4 is correspondence. 4.1 is correspondence regarding provincial relief for the Ontario Provincial Police 2025 annual billing statement. It's from the Honorable Michael Kersner, Solicitor General. I need a motion that the correspondence from the Solicitor General regarding provincial relief for the Ontario Provincial Police 2025 annual billing statement be received. I have a motion, please. Councillor Perry, Councillor Warren. All in favor? And that's passed. Item 5, Mayor's proposed 2025 tax-supported operating budget for the City of Kawartha Lakes. Director Bokaboom, Director of Corporate Services, will do a short presentation. Whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It is our pleasure to bring forward today the amendment received November 29th from the province. We were so efficient in deliberating our budget on the 26th that we'll now open with an amendment with this savings. So on the first slide, after the November 26th deliberations, we stood at the following. The combined citywide police budget was $21.7 million. This represented an increase or pressure of $3.3 million over the 2024 budget. The strategy of the Budget Committee and Council then endorsed was to approve a one-time increase of 2.2% for citywide policing. So again, after your November 26th deliberations, the city operating general levy was at 2%. 2.2% was a combined Lindsay, Ops, and the rural OPP police, and 1.5 dedicated infrastructure levy. The next slide walks us through specifically what was in those numbers for the OPP. So again, on the November 26th deliberations, the budget included an amount of $9.9 million for the OPP billing statement received in October. In the $9.9 million, it includes both the 2025 billing statement as well as a reconciliation to catch up on the 2023 March 31st year end. With the OPP billing statement of the 9.9, it's broken down in the chart that 9.383855 was for the 2025 year. City staff recommended utilizing the OPP reserve of $400,190, which left a net OPP for the rural area tax impact of $8.983 million. That was equal to approximately a 16.35% increase for OPP alone over 2024. So therefore, utilizing the area rate reserve was a sound financial practice, and it helped alleviate the $1.3 million pressure. After the November 26th deliberations, on November 29th at approximately 7 p.m., the mayor received word from the notice letter from the Office of the Solicitor General that acknowledged the impact OPP costs were having across the province on our municipal budgets. They provided relief on the 2025 billing statement of $1.413 million. Again, that wasn't all attributable to 2025 because that relief included reducing the 2023 year-end reconciliation. So the 1.413 impacted 2025 in the chart to the amount of 1.181 million. This brings the OPP bill down to 8202445 for 2025, or now of a slight variance of 146,825 over that of 2024, and within a 1.8% increase. The reserve that was utilized on the initial budget preparation was again to help alleviate the $1.3 million pressure. With this letter on November 29th, it is a one-time only. We are still uncertain what 26 will bring, 27, 28. We're also no longer experiencing OPP area rate surpluses to help replenish this reserve. Therefore, we recommend or suggest that council and staff need to leave that reserve intact to help stabilize future years. Again, just a 3-year history. This is the utilization of the reserve, and we've been drawing down, and we will, at the end of 2024, we will have 400,190 in that reserve. We have 2 options for council to consider. On the next slide, option 1 is to recognize the full reduction of $1.181,410 million in 2025 entirely, maintain the financing reserve already being utilized to 400,190, and therefore a full net impact on the 2025 OPP area rate tax reduction of the $1.1 million. To note, that is only for our rural residents who benefit from the OPP bill. This would amend your tax increase to 5.9% from the current November 26th deliberated amount of 6.7%. 3% remains intact for city operations. It would reduce the 1.4 average citywide policing, which is an average of both City Kawartha Lakes policing and OPP, and maintain the 1.5 dedicated infrastructure levy. The resolution is on the screen, should council choose option 1. However, staff are recommending option 2, which is to reduce the OPP expense by the same $1.181,410 million, but return the $400,190 to the OPP area rate stabilization reserve and set us up for stability into the future for the unknown costs coming in future years from the OPP bill. The reduction would then have a net impact of $781,220 on the bottom line for the OPP area rate tax reduction. Again, that reduction would only benefit the rural residents that are serviced by the OPP. This would amend your tax increase to 6.2%. Your 3% is still intact. It would reduce the policing from currently the 2.2% to 1.7%, and your 1.5% is intact. Therefore, the draft resolutions have been crafted, should council choose this option, to reduce the OPP line for the billing expenditure, and that $400,190 of the OPP area rate reserve financing be returned to the reserve. With that, Mr. Mayor, we can take any questions.
Thank you. Councillor Richardson.
Thank you, and through you. One quick question would be when we're looking at option 2, I know that the Budget Committee had numerous conversations when we were reviewing our police services budgets, the importance of actually developing a long-term financial plan and the city working with these bodies to make sure that we are creating something that is more sustainable and stabilized. Did you want to maybe provide a comment just regarding that conversation?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, exactly, Councillor Richardson. The CKL police area rate reserves are 0. We have no room for stability into the future should any continued increases occur. For the OPP, if you were to return the 400,000 per option 2 in front of you today, you would start, that would be the baseline you would have in that reserve. In our long-term financial planning, we now know to start building more significant increases in for police. And what we would also like to do is start building up our reserve strategy to replenish those reserves. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword because you're trying to address the increases in year. It's also difficult to build reserves on top of the already operating increases. But we would like to start building a long-term plan that does allow us the resilience to build those reserves up again.
Gil, did you have a...
Thank you, and I do appreciate that, and that was the conversation that we did have numerous times, and also the fact that we aren't going to be experiencing any of those surpluses moving forward either. So how critical it is to actually start building up a reserve, because we don't know what next year is going to bring, because we may have the same demands that we had this year. So I don't know, I'll let the other questions go, but I'm definitely leaning towards option 2 at this time.
Thank you. Councillor Warren.
That was my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Councillor Perry.
This is more of a comment than anything, just to express some frustration and make sure that the government of Ontario is not let off the hook here in terms of the Ontario Provincial Police, right? Not only are we saddled last minute with an increase in the police services for our communities by OPP, not with the force itself, but with the powers that be in the government of Ontario, with more than $1 million increase that we're having to scramble to cover and pass along to residents here locally. But now we're having to plan for contingency when people are already experiencing a hard time to ensure against future instability. And I'll have more to say about this in January and a motion to follow. But I wanted to make sure that we acknowledged that this provincial issue is landing with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Richardson, did you wish to make a motion?
I do, through you, Mayor, that the Mayor's proposed I can't even speak here. 2025 budget be reduced by $1,181,410 for the OPP billing expenditure, and that $400,190 of the OPP area rate reserve financing be returned to the reserve.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Seconder, Councillor Warren, did you want to second that?
Sure.
Thank you. Questions or comments on the motion? Go ahead, Councillor Warren.
Just on Councillor Perry's comments that this was a download many years ago, so we never used to have to pay for policing.
Thank you. Seeing nothing more, all in favor? All in favor? Going last time? Okay, that's passed. Thank you. Can I get a confirming bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the special council meeting of December 5th, 2024? Mover and seconder, Counselor Joyce, you want to move that? And Counselor Ashmore? All in favor? That's passed. Could I have a motion to adjourn? Counselor Perry. Deputy Mayor McDonald? All in favor? Thank you for your time today, everybody.